This happened about 4 years ago when I was living alone for the first time. I just moved to a new city for work and rented a small ground floor apartment. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 front door. The kind of place where you can hear everything outside, but nobody can see in. At first, nothing felt off. I worked long hours, came home wiped out, and usually just crashed. That's probably why it took me a while to notice the first problem. Every morning when I left for work, my door was locked. Which doesn't sound weird, except I never locked it when I left. I wasn't careful back then. I'd always think, I'll lock it tomorrow. But I never did. The first time, I figured I was just forgetting. The second time, I laughed it off. By the third time, I started paying attention. So one night, before bed, I made sure to leave the door unlocked. I even checked it twice. Next morning, locked. I stood there with my keys, just staring at the door, trying to make sense of it. Maybe the lock caught automatically. Maybe I turned it without realizing. That excuse stopped working a few days later. I started noticing other stuff, little things. The bathroom light would be on when I was sure I'd turned it off. My shoes weren't where I left them. The TV volume was lower than usual. Nothing was missing. Nothing was broken. It didn't feel like a break-in. It felt like somebody was trying not to be noticed. One night, I came home earlier than usual. The smell hit me first. Food. Something warm, like it had just been cooked. I froze in the hallway, listening. No voices. No footsteps. Just silence. The kitchen was empty. The stove was cold. No dishes in the sink. I barely slept that night. The next day, I bought a cheap door camera. Nothing fancy, just one that recorded onto a memory card. Before leaving for work, I left the door unlocked again. When I got home, the door was locked. That night, I watched the footage. For hours, nothing. Just my empty apartment. Then, around 3:10 a.m., the door handle moved. The door opened just enough for someone to slip inside. He didn't rush. He closed the door carefully behind him. He was already inside before I even realized something was wrong. He knew where the light switch was. He didn't turn it on. He walked straight past the camera. I saw his face clearly. He looked tired, not nervous, not rushed. Like this was normal for him. He went into my bedroom. The footage cut out. I didn't stay in the apartment that night, or the next. The cops came the following day. They said there were no signs of forced entry, no broken locks, no busted windows. Before leaving, one of them asked me if I was sure the door locked from the outside. I said yeah. He went quiet for a moment. Then he told me, the lock on my door only turns from the inside. I moved out that week. The landlord later said the last tenant had complained about the same things: locked doors, moved furniture, lights left on. He said the tenant had been confused. I still check my door every night. I lock it carefully from the inside.